friends. Thanks for tuning in. This is Carrie from Clearly Balanced Days. I am here today with Serena Finocchio. She is a yoga instructor and the owner of Serene Yoga in Hanover, Mass. Thanks for joining me, Serena.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
So Serena is one of our family of retailers, and she's also part of the family. And so can you tell us a little bit about your studio and what you offer there?
Yeah, definitely. So my studio, it's a yoga studio, but I also do meditation. So yoga and meditation based. I offer one-on-ones, small group privates, and then small group classes. And they're all focused mainly on restorative yoga. So there's some aspect to restorative yoga in every class. And there's a short meditation at the beginning and end of each class to help with stress relief, anxiety management, pain management, and all that.
That's great. Yeah. And that's why we have Serena on today, because it is Stress Awareness Month. And so we've been really trying to hit on that theme a lot this month. And so we thought you were the perfect person to talk to because, of all the meditation and the yoga and all of that and how you combine it is really very cool. So you carry our products there. What got you interested in what got you interested in bringing CBD into your practice?
I found trying CBD that it works for me. It works for my migraines amazingly. And I felt like it also helps with my joint pain that I've had for forever. And I've brought it in. My clients love it. I love it. I just feel like it's an overall amazing product. And because it's your product and it's a clean product, where not all CBD companies are a clean product. So it's great to have the aspect of not only family, women owned, and small business and clean products. It's basically why I went with yours.
Yeah. Thank you. We love the people that get it. We really try to be mindful about all of those decisions that we're making as far as the ingredients in our products, and having you for Tina's cousin. So it's nice to keep it in the family when we can. Just to spread the word. So. That's great. So this month being Stress Awareness Month, we thought that Serene Yoga would be a perfect fit to talk about stress management. So are you finding an uptick in the people coming to you wanting to talk more about that and finding new ways to deal with it?
I am, because I feel like now stress is more so in the home than it was before, because everybody's been working from home, their kids have been home. So you don't leave your job to come home anymore. Now you leave your job, which might be in the kitchen, to go into the other room, and it's not really separate. And I feel like you're working more into later hours than you normally would be. So people are really having a hard time trying to manage like separating work from home, and it causes more stress essentially. Even for kids too. Kids also, they have the same issues, just school and not seeing friends. So I feel like a lot more stress, a lot more anxiety. It's kind of a tough time, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, it definitely is. We hear from people all the time that are, they might have a lot of anxiety in their lives anyway, but they're dealing with that extra level of it now. And I think a lot of it too comes from the collective. Like we're all kind of feeling each other's stress level too. I think that I love that you brought up kids. So do you when a lot of times when you think about meditation or yoga, things like that, we think of that as an adult practice. Do you have kids come and take classes with you?
I do, like parents and kids online. I don't have any kids come to the studio, just because it's not something I've ever offered at the studio yet anyways. So but I do have some people request for like Zoom yoga classes for their kids.
Oh, perfect.
Which is nice.
That's a great way to get everybody moving, that kind of thing. Great. Because it seems like it'd be great habits to build for somebody, that's
definitely
young.
And I feel like it helps them too. And I feel as though kids are more easy to get used to, or find it easier to learn meditation, I guess.
Yeah, they don't have as much noise in their heads as we do,
In
I
their
think,
heads. Yeah, exactly.
and
That's perfect. Yeah.
yeah, I think that one of the things that we can learn from kids is that constant voice telling us why not,
Mm-hmm.
like why
Yep,
we can't do something, why, why that's never going to work, that sort of thing. They don't have that as much. So, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So, what about your role in wellness is important to you? What do you feel like you can really bring to the table?
I feel like I can help people learn to manage their stress and their pain because I know for me, practicing yoga, like again, going back to when I used to have migraines all the time, like yoga was a big factor in me overcoming the pain of migraines because I learned to just sit with it. And
Mm.
same thing in meditation, you kind of learn to just sit and not and accept what is in the moment and not dwell on like, oh, okay, this really hurts. It's like, how can I breathe through this? How can I just put put my mind at ease versus thinking about what else is going on? And a lot of that has to do with your breath, whether it's in your meditation or in a yoga practice. That's why I tend to refer to yoga as a moving meditation because essentially when you're working with your breath, you're meditating and you're moving and it's just all tied in.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. And I think that that's a big thing for all of us is to remember that those things are connected. And I think a lot of times when we don't move enough and we get
Mm-hmm.
stuck at our desks all the time and we're constantly staring at screens, then we're not connecting our minds and our bodies as well anymore.
Yes,
So I think that now it's more important than ever that we take that time out. And
I
Tina's
agree.
sister, your cousin Kara, is
Yeah.
has been awesome. She does some like stretches and things with us at the office a couple times a week,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been a huge help for all of us to just be more mindful. Like the movements themselves are really wonderful, but the biggest thing, especially for me, I take away from it is that reminder to stop and be intentional in stretching and moving and breathing while
Yeah.
I'm doing it. So
Yeah. That's awesome that she's doing that with you guys.
yeah, it's been really great. So when it comes to that daily stress, what are some of the things that we could do to add into our routines that might be more helpful?
So, when it comes to daily stress, some things you could add into your routine would be meditation, yoga, even going for a walk and using that as a moving meditation um, could help. Even sitting down and making yourself a cup of tea and just taking a few moments. It doesn't have to be an hour, it could be a minute. Really, any small amount of time that you can just take yourself out of whatever situation you're in and just be with yourself just
Mm,
for a few moments makes a big difference. And even I know people hate to do this because we're so linked to technology, but I love to do it. I do it all the time. Turn your phone off or on airplane mode or even on silent. And again, maybe it's for a few minutes, maybe it's overnight completely, but just to kind of disconnect from all the technology that's always surrounding you, but even more so now because you're in your home and everybody's working from home. And it's good to just
right.
separate that a little bit.
Yeah. So it's kind of like we're disconnecting from all of that so we can reconnect with ourselves a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get that unstable connection,
Mm-hmm.
not only when we're dealing with Zoom problems or things like that, but it's really happening inside of us too, where we're not
For
connecting
sure.
with ourselves as much anymore because we're so like in our brains connecting in other ways.
Yeah.
That's great advice, and I like the idea of a moving meditation. I think that's brilliant. That yoga, I can totally see how that could be exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
But to think about just being intentional in taking that moment, whatever that means for you, right?
Right. Definitely.
Yeah,
And
very
I think
cool.
I'd like to add get outside.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and now's a
Like
great time to do
so
that for
needed.
sure.
It's a great time of year. Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
yeah.
I think when all of this stuff started last year, I think, it was so stressful and it was the world just got turned on its head, but it was
Mm-hmm.
warm out. and we could get out of the house, and we, spring was starting, and, so
Right.
it's happening again where, things are still kind of, not quite right, or our routines are still kind of messed up. But it's beautiful and warm outside. And that's great advice. Take some time to get
Yeah.
outside and breathe. So many people participate in yoga. Where would you suggest someone begin? Or if they're already practicing, what's your favorite suggestion to take it to the next level?
Okay. I would say check out your local yoga studios. Kind of gives you a deeper sense of community, which is nice. And you can also, though, obviously online, I feel like everything is online now. And even your local yoga studio probably has online classes. There's also like Yoga Journals, magazine, Yoga International, they're online. There's all different, if you would just Google yoga, you'll find Yoga International and Yoga Journal usually at the top for references. And they have articles, some of them are membership based, but not all of them. So there's a lot of information there that you could find. There's also a lot of great local teachers too, especially to connect with a local yoga studio.
Yeah, that's great. I think that you really can't discount how nice it is to have some place to go. I know in our town, there's a group that meets at our library, or that's where it started, and it's moved around into different places in town. But they've all really become this like really great community, and they stick together, but and like they like support one another.
Yeah.
And so you can really find a great group to practice with and things. So
definitely.
yeah. So if someone doesn't have the time to take an hour-long yoga class, you've already mentioned like taking a minute out of your day. Do you have any recommendations for helpful poses or breathing exercises that might be a great place to start?
Yeah, definitely. Child's pose is a great pose. It's one of my favorite poses. And you can just like breathe there, and it's a very relaxing pose. So I'd say child's pose is a great pose, and corpse pose. So when you're in Shavasana, you're in corpse pose, you're lying on your back, very basic. And I feel like that can be difficult for a lot of people because you're lying still. And a lot of teachers will tell you it's the most difficult pose in your practice because it's that you're intentionally lying still on your mat, but you get this feeling of relaxation when you're in Shavasana that's it's kind of like indescribable, I feel like, at the end of your class. So child's pose, corpse pose, even reclined butterfly, that's also another good one, really relaxing, helps open your hips. And if you have props, I highly encourage people using props. People always stray away from props, but it makes your practice so much more relaxing, so much more supported. Highly encourage them.
So props, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, so like blocks.
Such as like blocks, blocks, bolsters, blankets. Blankets you can roll up and make into a bolster if you don't have one. If you don't have blocks, you can use books, just like anything to put like under your knees or maybe behind your head as a pillow, like a blanket, anything like that.
So kind of adapting things to what your body's wanting to do in the moment. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So you already gave us a couple of the resources that you like. What would be your favorite go-tos on the internet as far as finding good yoga?
So on the internet, I have a few favorite teachers: Amy Wren, I love, and Ben Chust, and then Kevin Courtney. Kevin Courtney does some free meditations on Instagram, so you can find him on Instagram. And then Ben and Amy, they teach classes on. You can find them on Boston Yoga School online. And other than that, I also use Glow. It's an app, but it's also online as well. So
cool.
That's also a good
one. Yeah. All right. I'll be sure to put some of those things into the comments on the videos. So those are some great resources. How about if we wanted to find you?
Okay. If you wanted to find me, you can go to www.sereneyogastudio.net. Also on Instagram at Serene Yoga. So it would be Serene_yoga_. and on Facebook, Serene Yoga. And I do have a YouTube channel too. I think it's Serene Yoga. You leave out the YouTube.
That's okay. You can go to, so we can go to your website and we could find your
You go to my
there,
website, right? And you can find
yeah.
my stuff from there. And I guess I'm the most present on Instagram.
Great. Yeah. Okay. So that was Serene_yoga_ on Instagram.
Yes, on Instagram.
Yeah. I've been following your page for a while. I love your pictures. So
thanks. Thank you.
You should check that out for sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. Oh, I was just going to say I offer online Zoom classes too. So if somebody was interested in that, it's awesome.
Yeah, perfect. And so if you're, not local to them, they can still check out one of your classes. Yeah, that's really great. Awesome. Well, so thank you so much for joining me today. We had a little bit of a hiccup with the internet connection for a bit there, so I appreciate your patience.
Thank you.
Yeah. So make sure you go and check out Serene Yoga on Instagram, Facebook. It's everywhere. You can check that out, and we will see you next time. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much.